All right, let's take a look at the HDFC Bank chart here. The stock has been in a downtrend, but now it's starting to stabilize near 790 to 800 zone. Price is currently around 800, and here are the key structures that are in place. So before I go further, let me enable, you know what, before that, I'd like to show something interesting. It's been there in a range. It was downward range, definitely, but it was range bound for quite some time, as you can see. When it broke out, it did jump quite a bit on a single day when the price broke out of this range and sustained on days, what are those, 6th April and 7th, 6th and 7th. When it broke out and sustained, the next day it just jumped quite a bit. But after that, it couldn't break the resistance zone, the immediate resistance zone. And since then, it's been in a consolidation phase, as you can see here. Okay, let me turn off the range here. And let's move to both 20 and 50 EMA. So this is where we are looking at. So the price currently is around like 800, and it seems to be matching with the 20 EMA. Both are at 800, but it's clearly below the 50 EMA 841, the 841, 842 kind of thing, and definitely far below the 200 EMA. Now, what does that tell us? This is not bullish yet. It's more of a sideways consolidation after a downturn. It tried to recover. I wouldn't even call it as a downturn. It was a downturn definitely, but it tried to recover and it couldn't sustain, and then hence it entered into a consolidation phase. And let me turn off both EMS. Now let's look at supply and demand zones. Yeah, so the first support zone, immediate support zone, is 780 to 800. This zone becomes important because the price is repeatedly holding here. It's not going below this zone. Successfully, that range is maintained. So that becomes the immediate support zone, and the strong support afterwards is this area. We are looking at 730 to 750 area. That is the immediate, the next stronger support. And then in terms of resistance, the blue ones, I came up with two areas. You can see very clearly here, it couldn't, after repeated attempts, it couldn't break through. That is the immediate resistance zone, 820 to 840. We are looking at 820 to 840 is the zone. This includes previous rejection levels. And you can see, and the 50 EMA, let me turn on that also, that you can see clearly. Yeah, so it just matches with the 50 EMA as well. The zone, the resistance zone matches with the 50 EMA as well. And afterwards, we are looking at the next resistance zone, which is around like 880 plus. I would call it as 880 plus. Anything above 880. Again, it comes into picture only if the 850 zone is broken out of and the price sustains above it. Then we are looking at a move towards 880. And the momentum check, MACD is negative 13, still clearly negative. Momentum is weak. Recovery is not strong yet. So RSI, we are looking at what, 47? Yeah, it's 47. So it's below 50. That shows slight bearish momentum is still present. That would be my take, my interpretation. Moving averages, we looked at, price is clearly stuck between near 20 EMA, 800. This is almost close match with 20 EMA, but clearly below 50 EMA, as you can see it. So no clear trend, just consolidation. Last 5 days, when you look at last few days of price action, story. Let's zoom it a bit. And what we are looking at, like I said, on the 8th, the price was higher, around 815 plus, something like that. On the 9th, again, the sellers came in. We saw a sharp drop towards the 790. On April 10th, we see a bounce came in again. We see an inside candle formed here, but it couldn't sustain. On April 13th, the price stayed weak around 790 to 800, 790 to 800. The price was, the movement was weak. And now on April 17th, price again tested 800 and it held on to it, which is good. So what does that tell us? Buyers are defending 780 to 800 zone, but sellers are active above 810 to 820 zone. They are pretty active and they are not allowing the price to move up. So we are looking at a tight range formation after a drop. So the bullish scenario I'm looking at is if the price breaks and sustains above 820 to 840, then if the price goes beyond the first resistance level, then we are looking at a move towards 860 all the way to 880, something like that. So we might come across resistance around like 880, but until then it should go through if the price goes beyond the first resistance zone and sustains it. Right, in terms of bearish scenario, again, it's been doing a pretty good job in terms of sustaining, not having a fall below the support zone here. But if the price breaks below 780, then in that case we are looking at a move down towards the 750 730 zone. So 730 to 750 zone, it could fall down to this zone. So now what is the final take on it? So again, like I said many times in this video, we are looking at sideways momentum here with slight bearish pressure, I would say. And the reason is price is below the 50 EMA clearly, and the MACD is still negative, double digit negative, and range bound structure after this. I wouldn't call it as like a long fall. There was a recovery, like I said. It should have maintained that momentum, but it didn't. So I'm looking at a range bound structure at this time. Thank you so much for staying with me on this video. Again, this is for educational purposes only, not to be taken as